Welcome to my kitchen. I am so glad you're with me today because we're gonna be cooking some of the strangest, coolest foods out of the newest genre in the cooking universe. I'm referring to, of course, stupid foods. And what are stupid foods? Well, they're foods that are stupid. Stuff like the calzone garlic knot pepperoni slice. Maybe you're interested in a spaghetti dump dinner. How about a nice NyQuil chicken washed down with a Dr. Pepperoncini? There are hundreds, if not thousands of stupid foods out there, and I've seen them all. And in this video, we are going to be making 3 grilled dishes that are so idiotic, they might just be genius. Let's go make them. This first stupid food is probably one of the most tortured things you can make using beef, bacon, and hot dogs. I'm talking about the redneck turtle burger. And unlike most stupid foods, this one is sometimes sold commercially, which is actually insane. Here, we like to make our abominations fresh, and that begins with laying down some parchment paper, which is gonna make it so much easier to flip our meat around. Then we're gonna grab a ball of ground beef and shape it into a thin patty. Since this is gonna be the base of our turtle, it's a good idea to take extra time to strengthen the patty and make those corners really nice and tight like a turtle. We're also in need of a bacon weave, so I went with the absolute longest bacon I can find. In this case, it's Jimmy Dean's of all things. And you know, at first I thought they were the perfect choice, but they're a little crumbly when I peel them off the slab. Also, they have this little dip here, which I don't like, but whatever. Now we're gonna lay down 5 strips of bacon and just start layering in those middle slices, alternating which one of those 5 get flipped. It's surprisingly easy and a pretty cool cooking trick to learn if you don't know it already. We're just gonna pick up this bacon weave and put it aside while we work on the hot dogs. In the shop today, we got these classic Oscar Mayer wieners. I really like these since they split into 2 mini packs. I can keep one in the fridge and take the other one to go and maybe offer a wiener to a nice stranger. Pause. Wait, actually pause, I'm bugging. Shockingly, this dish, on top of having 2 burger patties and a bacon weave, it also includes 3 whole hot dogs that we're gonna cut in half and carve to make up its turtly appendages. First, we're gonna do the tail, which is just a little wedge like this. The claws and feet of the turtle are made by doing 2 slits spaced evenly apart to make it look like 3 turtle fingers. These are actually gonna open up while cooking and look much more realistic. Same thing with the mouth, that's also gonna open up. So let's go with a nice deep cut so we can get that big old scary turtle mouth thing going on. This next bit, I didn't see in any of the lore, but we're taking black peppercorn and pressing them in to make the eyes. We wanna make sure we get that realistic, distant, petrified turtle look that this dish is so well known for. All right, let's build this shit. That's the turtle, looking thick as hell and ready for grilling. But before we can do that, we need to prep the next 2 dishes. This next dish was discovered by none other than Gordon Ramsay himself on his peak television show, Kitchen Nightmares. I highly encourage you to watch this episode. It's probably one of his best. This stupid dish is a grilled Caesar salad, where the lettuce is actually grilled. Ever since I've seen this episode, I've always wondered, was this actually a stupid dish, or did Gordon unnecessarily crush the dreams of this nice young boy? Good news is, this dish is normal all the way through until the very end, so we can actually learn something useful, which is how to make classic Caesar salad dressing. It's probably the best dressing in the world, peak deliciousness. There's a lot of ingredients, but most of them you should already have, and the others don't really expire easily. On the motherfucking screen, we have garlic, egg, anchovy, Worcestershire capers, Parmesan, pepper, oil, mustard, and lemon, as well as 2 other spices which we're gonna use in the stupid version when it comes time to ruin this dish. The very first step of the Caesar salad is to make this paste. We're gonna do this by laying down some anchovies, followed with some capers, and then I like to take out this truffle slicer and thinly slice the garlic, which is the only use I get out of this thing, unfortunately. Then we're gonna come in with the regular knife and just start mincing this guy. We can also add a little salt to help the garlic break down a bit better. Right here is where I can tell that we've added too much garlic. It's too white. The paste should be gray. So we're just gonna add in more capers and a little more anchovy and then mince it until we get that gray-green paste that honestly looks like doo-doo. Put this stinky paste in a bowl and slap in the egg yolk, followed by some mustard, some Worcestershire, and a deep squeeze of lemon, and then a big slutty helping of olive oil. Now, a lot of other cooking programs would probably tell you to slow drip in the olive oil instead of doing this, and they're not wrong. But for this little amount, normal whisking emulsifies it perfectly. Now we're gonna add in a healthy grating of Parmesan cheese. This is gonna give it its signature texture, as well as that Parmesan tangy umami that we all love so much. Now our salad dressing is perfect. It's thick and creamy and salty and funky, but now it's time to ruin it. We need to add the spiciness and color from the original. And by the looks of this kitchen, and I'm not trying to throw shade here, but it looks like the kind of place that would just make this spicy using good old cayenne and paprika. We're gonna sprinkle it generously over the top. Just keep adding it until it feels like overkill. I actually end up adding so much that it thickened the sauce, and I need to put some lemon to thin it back out again. If you notice on the show, they were using a wide gauge squeeze bottle to dress this salad while it was on the grill. So to get ours as accurate as possible, we're gonna put all of our dressing into the same kind of bottle and then cut off the tip to make sure it's about the same size. If you wanted to, you can make an insane salad with just this dressing and some romaine lettuce. But if you really want to take it over the top, homemade croutons are the way to go. And they're super easy. We just need to slice up some bread into bite-sized pieces, then remove 2 of the sides of the crust. You don't really need to do this, but I feel like the crouton should never have a corner crust. One side is more than enough to give us that extra crunch, and it just looks a little classier. In a pan, we're gonna heat up some butter, and once it's foamy, throw in our bread. These are gonna cook so fast, so it's important to keep them moving and tossing them around. The better you are at keeping that movement going, the more even the toast is gonna be. They can also be buttered and thrown in an oven for even better evenness, if that's your thing, but for me, the texture is perfect. They have some browner parts, just like on morning toast, and since they all have one crust, it gives them this beautiful, organized, uniform look. Now we're down to our lettuce, and we're already kinda doing too much, so we're just gonna cut off the gross brown part of the lettuce and cut the whole thing down the middle, starting at the root. And boom, Caesar salad done. We can now move on to the final prep. This final dish we're prepping for the grill is the infamous grilled ice from China, which I'm sorry to report is a fake dish, okay? Well, kind of. I mean, it has been sold on the streets of China, but it has no cultural significance whatsoever, other than being a stupid dish, and that to me makes it irresistible. I actually want this to be really good, so I'm using a block of clear ice that I've made myself as the base. It's made using this Yeti cooler as the ice cube tray. Within 24 hours, it always produces a clear block of ice and some weird looking icicles, which I'm a big fan of eating. The ice block needs some trimming, and a hard steel knife is unusually good at cutting through this ice. I think it's the hardness of it has something to do with it, because it's able to cause cracks that go through the whole block of ice with just a few taps. This is the technique we're going to use to break down the ice into perfect, clear, bite-sized cubes. Since this dish is fake, the seasonings for it are kind of a mystery, so we're going to go with some green onions, or some oignon, as they say, and cut diagonally to add as much distraction to the dish as we can. We're also going with a nice crushed pepper, something that tastes good on its own and isn't crazy spicy. I wonder if some of you can tell what this is by eye. I'll give you a hint. It's the most common pepper in Korea. Next, we're gonna do my little twist on it. We're gonna take this grilled salted nori sheet and crush it down in this spice blender. Then just give it a few quick pulses to get this nori dust that should coat the ice beautifully. And with the prep for our ice finally done, we can move on to the actual grilling and taste these stupid dishes once and for all. First dish to hit the grill is 100% gonna be the turtle burger. This thing is about 3 pounds of solid meat, and it's probably gonna need about an hour or so on low heat to not overcook the thing. We're not using any direct heat at all, really trying to avoid that cremated turtle look. And trust me, this thing was fighting me the whole time. I gotta flip it over here, need to flip it over there, put it on top, and it just barely came together. The lettuce was much more compliant. I just stuck that thing on the grill raw, no oil or anything, and just had faith that something stupid would happen. We managed to pull off a picture-perfect drizzle just like on the show, and our faith is rewarded by giving us a nicely charred lettuce. The last to hit the grill is, of course, the ice, and I'm trying to do this fast so it doesn't melt, but also because I have neighbors. Dogs are not allowed in here, and I'm fucking around a lot. I was surprised to see that the ice was actually getting some grill marks on it, and the spices stuck to it really well. So I went ahead and plated it with the nori dust and the sliced scallions. For the turtle burger, we're gonna be folding a piece of lettuce and dropping it on the bun, and then a healthy squirt of ketchup. Then goes on the beautiful turtle, followed by the top bun. And with the salad's presentation, we're doing something relaxed. Just belly side up, a drizzle of spicy Caesar, and a sloppy splattering of croutons. And voila, we have our 3 stupid dishes ready to taste. All right, it's finally time to taste some of these stupid foods. Starting off with the ice cubes because they're melting. Oh, yes. So it looks kind of pretty. So you can see what I mean. Really pretty, nice and clear with the specks and the spice. It's quite interesting. And a little bit of heat that the spices get maybe do toast them a little bit. I'm not sure. They're not bad, which is kind of blowing my mind. The grill marks help to grip the ice. All right, for our next dish, we have the grilled Caesar salad. This is a grilled lettuce with a classic Caesar salad dressing, absolutely ruined with paprika and cayenne and butter croutons, just like on the show. It smells like a little bit of toasted leafy greens, if I can even say that. Maybe like a toasted cabbage. Oh geez, it always worries me when a chef serves me the butt of the lettuce. It means it hasn't been cleaned properly. I'm not always gonna be nice, but I will always be fair. Barely anything added. If I was picking between 2 pieces of lettuce and one was grilled and one was not, and you told me one was grilled, I might be able to pick it out. Let's give this a shot so we can get that concentrated grilled lettuce taste that is so classic that everybody knows it. I don't think it adds anything. Maybe a little bit of like a tea flavor. It's definitely not a flavor that people are gonna be breaking down your door to taste. It's not interesting. It's gobbledygook. And finally, for our last dish, I've been absolutely dying to try this, the redneck turtle burger. Holy shit. Look at the guy. This is ridiculous. This is easily the stupidest thing I've ever eaten. It's absolutely gigantic. It is a hell of a burger. I'm guessing well over a pound. The freaking turtle burger, barely any lettuce. You know, I kind of feel like fixing this. This is such a big, stupid burger. It just needs a little extra crunch. There she is. I think wrapped beautifully. Look at that. We have nice wrapping, slightly burnt dogs. The face of true horror. I like the claws. It's nice and big. You know, if you like char, you got the super charred tail. What's not to love? I think the best way to do it is to go face first. Cheers. It definitely tastes like a redneck turtle burger, if you know what I mean. It tastes like something you would find. Let me go in for a second bite and tell you what's going on here. When the ketchup got involved, that actually got good for a second. That actually got really good for a second. Starving. Oh my God, it makes me feel like a 12-year-old kid. That is so cool. You could take your snobbiest chef, as long as they grew up in America, there's no way they're gonna dislike this. This is insanely fun. Is it stupid? It's one of the stupidest fucking things I've ever seen in my life. But this is a winner. Oh, absolutely. This is so, so, so good. Get the lettuce out of here. The cross section's absolutely filthy. I would kind of wish I didn't see this. What is that? There's like a hole in there. Ew. So those were 3 absolutely stupid grilled foods. I hope you enjoyed them as much as I did. I certainly will not forget them. If you like stupid foods and you want to see more of them, consider subscribing, where I'm definitely going to be covering more of them in the future. Thank you so much for joining me, and I hope you have a good one. Peace.